The Aspiration for the Truth of Life. Chris McCandless, a young promising graduate who sought a nomadic lifestyle and became an independent adventurer. After graduation, he donated all of his life savings to a charity that fights poverty and hunger. McCandless then traveled across North America and eventually hitchhiked to Alaska in 1992. Tragically, he was found dead at 24 inside a bus in the Alaskan forest. His life story had inspired many people and has been adapted into make films, documentaries, and books. Chris was the eldest son from a wealthy family who grew up in the suburb of Washington, D.C. He was talented in both academic and athletic performance. However, he and his sister endured physically and emotionally abuse during childhood from their parents. After graduating from high school, Chris discovered that his father secretly had a second family during his childhood. After graduating in 1990, Chris told his sister that he intended to cut off all relations with his parents. Karine said that the parents' attempts to control him and what he sees as immoral and materialistic lifestyle motivated him to disappear into the wild. Having enough of a discontented life, Chris changed his name to Alex Supertramp. He burned all of his cash and started his new life he desired to live in freedom. He spent the next 2 years wandering over the continent, hunting and eating off plants, hitchhiking and paddling along the coast. He experienced a fresh way of living, a way that is not confined by the society or any human being. Many of the books he had read presented the idea that going into nature was a source of self-discovery, a way to connect with inner self. Is this what Chris McCandless was looking for in the wild? Chris McCandless underwent many risks and difficulties. He had fought to the very end of his time. Still, he could smile and embrace death with a heart full of love. He photographed himself holding the note, "I have had a happy life, and thank the Lord. Goodbye, and may God bless all." While many people said his resentment with his family has driven him to the wild, but I believe that it was his desire to live the life of his dream. I honored Chris' extraordinary experience, not because of his extremity nor what he believes, but for his pure humanly existence. Like many of us, Chris had been through the darkness of his soul. Like many of us, he had tried very hard to understand the meaning of his existence. However, the difference between him and most of us is Chris has reached his breakpoint where he couldn't bear the same living anymore. He then felt ready to search for what had been missing. Most importantly, he had the courage to live it. The reality might not be as expected, but the truth is always beautiful. I think that's what true living is, to live for your soul.